guys. Okay, so on this video, we are gonna talk about how, what does boundaries look like when you are in a relationship, okay? So boundaries is not like, like all these books out there, they're like, um, be like a man, think like a man, or the power of the pussy, or like, oh, why women have to be bitches, or treat them mean and keep them keen, right? There's all this stuff that says to us all the time that we have to be absolute bitches to get what we want in relationships. But that's not true. I don't want anyone to be a bitch. I don't want you to lead with your, bitch self. I want you to lead with love. I want you to lead with your feminine energy, but put boundaries in place. So, how do boundaries look like, okay, when you are dating? So, I am going to give you 10 examples, and I have put them in order to, like, you don't know the guy, maybe you are online dating, okay? And then as the relationship progresses, what the boundaries, and then, like if you are already in a relationship, then you start applying those. But I'm gonna start like, imagine that you are like 100% single right now. So number one, your first boundary that is going to keep you safe, it's going to be let him contact you first. And so, like, imagine that you are intimidating. Don't go responding to the guys' profiles. So, like, if you see like a really cute guy and he's got like a really good job, don't go, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Don't do that. Allow them to hunt you with their masculine energy. Okay, and also men could just hunt all day, right? But they don't have enough energy to do that all the time. So they're gonna only hunt the women that they really, really like. They really like the look of. So maybe, they like brunettes. So they're just gonna hit on the brunettes, because hitting on everybody, it would just be like too exhausting for them. It takes up too much energy. Like, men are, they wake up with a hard on, okay? So this is how stressful it is to be a guy. They think about sex all the time. So they are not gonna hit on everyone, because it would just, they would never get anything done, okay? They're only gonna hit on the women that are only highly interested. So when you already know, when a guy hit on you, it's because there is something about you that he really likes. Maybe, he likes them blonde and tall with blue eyes, right? Maybe he likes them, Spanish or Latino, brunettes, with a bit of meat in their bones and a little sexy accent, okay? Maybe he likes the beautiful English rose, okay? Maybe he likes them exotic, okay? So maybe if you are non-British, you're exotic. Right? So, like, because we're in Britain, right? But maybe you are in America and that you are from another country, and maybe your guy likes exotic women, okay? And so maybe it doesn't matter what you look like. They're gonna hit on whatever they like. So when they contact you first, you know that there is something about you that they're really attracted to. This is what happens when it's the other way around. When you contact him first, just because I want to make this explain as simple as possible, let's say that he is attracted to tall, blonde women with, let's imagine that Claudia Schiffer is his dream style of girl. And there comes Penny, with a bit of meat on her bones, and so cute, with a little brunette hair, right? So there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just different, is a style, different color, different shape, right? There is a guy that is going to like you as perfectly just as you are. But if this guy likes tall blondes and I hit on him first, guess what? He's a guy. He's not gonna say, no, I don't like, um, I don't like women like you, he's gonna go like, bring it on, because I might not like you enough to have a relationship with you, might not like you enough to marry you, but you know, fair play for a night or two, or to keep you on my back stash, on my emergency stash. I will certainly use you and abuse you. And this is the way that men are. Just imagine that you are on a diet and you are starving. Okay. If I put cupcakes right in front of you, are you going to say no to the cupcake? You are starving and the cupcake looks delicious. So he might, the cupcake might not be like your favorite flavor. You might like chocolate and the cupcake is vanilla, but you starving and you love cupcake. Okay, men love women, men love sex. And if you come on to them, they'll think it's fair play, even though you are not their type, even though that they are not into you. They will say, bring it on. They'll come play. They will not say no. So this sort of boundary off the bat, okay? Number one, let him hunt you. Let him use his masculine energy to hunt you. And don't be the hunter yourself. Let him do that. It will protect you a ton, okay? This is already taken off so much percentage of rubbish that you are probably dating today, because there is all this advice out there that you can date like a man, and why not? You can call him, you can text him. There is all these people telling you, well, if you like him, why don't you call him? Why don't you? This is why, ladies, do not. If he wants you, he will call you. If he likes you, he will ask you out. And there is a lot of people that will say to you, oh, but he's shy. No, there is no such a thing as a shy man, because shy men love women too. Like, the shy man doesn't go without food, and the shy man will not go without women. The shy man will ask the woman out if she is his type. So if the shy man is not asking you out, means you are not his type. And let's go a bit further. Somebody out there is saying, oh, but I know I am his type because I know his ex-wife was tall blonde like me. But if he's not asking you out, maybe he's not ready for a relationship. Maybe he's hitting on another woman. Maybe his masculine energy is wounded and he's in victim mode and he's licking his wounds and he needs a little time to recover himself. Maybe he's low on testosterone. Maybe he's low on self-esteem. It doesn't matter the reason why. Don't even bother finding out the reason. If he's not asking you out and if he's not, doing everything to pursue you and chase you, he's not the man for you. Okay, so this is the boundary. Number one, it's gonna keep you so safe. And when you end up going on a date with this person, you will know for sure that you are his type because he contacted you first, he hunted you, he pursued you, he's asked you out, right? He's done all these steps that show he's interested. You're not there for just the one off, right? You were there like he's really tried his best. That means that this is gonna be something. Okay, so this is number one. Step number two, your second boundary is gonna be let him ask you out. Okay, so let's say that you are in a dating scenario, you like maybe on Tinder or Match.com or any app. So like you match, let him talk to you first, and also you're going to allow him to ask you out first. You're not gonna say, well, I'm free on Thursday, why don't we go for dinner? No. And also you're not gonna hint at that you are available. You're going to let him come out with his masculine energy, with his hunter gene. This is all the good men are. They were, in the DNA. This is what they think that they were brought to this earth for, right? To populate, to get women. This is like their favorite pastime. So let them ask you out. Okay, don't make hints, don't help them, don't help them. Let him come to you. And also, when you are using this boundary, you appear to be more high value, because if you make yourself too available, you will appear in his eyes. You might appear as desperate, you might appear easy, you might appear low value. And men love a challenge. This is another tip for you. Men love a challenge. So don't make it easy, in fact, make it as hard as possible. Okay, the harder you are, this is why they say you be hard to get. This is why men love a challenge, but also when you are hard to get, you are communicating this message that you are high value, okay, and that you are not to be messed with, okay. Okay, so step number 3 is give him 4 exchanges. So when you are, imagine that you're on Tinder, right? Everybody's on Tinder. And if you're not on Tinder and you're single and you want to meet the love of your life, go on Tinder. Don't think that Tinder is beneath you. Tinder is the #1 dating app in every country. Every single available man, it's on Tinder. If you go match, like there's also single available man, but everybody, there's some men that are on Match, some men that are on Hinge, some men that are on eHarmony, some men are on Plenty of Fish. Every man is on Tinder. When you are on Tinder, you have access to more men. Not every man in Tinder is there for a relationship, but because we have boundaries now, it's safe for you to be on Tinder because you're going to weed out all the people that are not looking for a relationship. For example, by not contacting them first and allowing them to ask you out first. But also, step number 3 is give them 4 exchanges. So let's say that he messaged you first, right? Because he's going to message you first. You're never going to message first. So he's going to say hi, and you're going to say hi. That's 1 exchange. Then he's going to say, how are you? And you're going to say, great, thanks. You're always great. I don't care you have a crappy day. I don't care what kind of day you are. You always had a great day. So that's the exchange number 2. And he's going to say, whereabouts are you based? Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm in London. I'm in X area of London. If you live in a big city, don't just say, oh, I'm in big city. Give them your area to the point. Like, don't give them your postcode, and don't give them your address. But like, for example, I live in London. My nearest station is Colindale, so I say I'm in Colindale area. So like he knows where you are. Like he can picture, because men is they like maps, don't they? So he will think already like, oh, she's here, I can get to here. Like he wants to know how he's gonna get to you when he's interested, that is. Okay, so that's step number 3. And then the 4th exchange, he's gonna ask you out or not. Okay, so he's gonna say, how about a drink? Would you like to go on a drink? I can come to Colindale and we can have dinner together. Okay, that's 4 exchanges, and that's all it takes. A guy that is interested in you will ask you out in 4 exchanges or less. Okay, if he wants to talk to you anymore, he's not interested. He is bored. Okay, he's got low self-esteem. He is a beta. He doesn't have masculine energy. He's in his feminine energy. He is a time waster. He is a fat guy on her mother's basement. Okay, he's afraid to date you. He's afraid he's not good enough. And we want to date. Remember that we are worthy of dating men who are ready, men who want to date us, men that are healthy, men that are good to go, right? So we are not going to be waiting like, oh my God, before I did the rules, before I knew all of this, I was like on Plenty of Fish 3 months talking to a guy, 3 months in my head. I already built like a fantasy relationship. This guy never asked me out. Never, never. I was wasting my time, my energy with this guy that never asked me out. So never, never. If you are right now talking to a guy past the fifth message and he's not asking you out, I want you to stop. This guy is wasting your time. He's leading you on and he's using you to make himself feel better. And men do this a lot. So that's why we have boundaries. We're going to give them 4 exchanges, okay? And then that's it. You're going to move into the next guy. That's why I love Tinder, because there is plenty of men there. If you're not asking me out, another guy will, because for one guy, I am not sure, you are like, yes, you are my one. You are my dream girl, okay? And I want you yesterday, right? And we want that guy. We want the guy that cannot live without us. Okay, so that's step number 3, boundaries. Step number 4 is going to be no chit chat, okay? And you are not going to, this is like, you're not going to talk a lot, and that is on the text messages. So like once you go far past 4 messages, if they're not asking you out, you're not going to chit chat with them. You're going to stop the communication, okay? And then maybe he's going to continue asking you questions like, and what do you do? And ignore. And this, ignore. And what are you doing? Ignore. And good morning, ignore, 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 until they ask you out. He will figure it out. He doesn't need your help. He's a man. We want a man, right? We don't want a baby that needs our little help. We don't want to have a guy, you need to cut up the little steak for him. You want a guy. He can cut his own steak. He can ask you out without help, okay? And we don't want a guy that we need to teach, we need to educate him. We want a guy that is like, he's good, he's healthy, he's got high self-esteem, he's healthy, divine masculine, he feels good about himself, he loves himself, he knows what he wants, he knows he deserves the best. And here you are. You are the good, you are in your high value, you're in your feminine energy, you have your boundaries in place, you're looking top notch, and it's gonna go, yeah, that one, that's the one I want. And that's the guy you want. You want your relationship to be like this. And it gets to be this easy when you make the decision, when you treat yourself like a priority, when you use your boundaries, it gets to be like this. And then guess what? If it's not like this, then bye-bye. And another guy will come that will treat you good. And I told you what, it does take a lot of courage, but as I said, if anybody's got courage to do this, it's us, right? We are the most courageous, and that's women are the most courageous women ever, okay? So, and that these also, so this is like when you are dating, like when you are messaging, right? If he's messaging you and he's asking you out, that's good. Then the next message is like, where do you want to go, right? So it has to be date related. So he cannot ask you out, then you say yes, and then he goes, how are you? Hello, good morning, every morning, right? You're not going to answer these crap messages that men send to 1,000 women sat on the toilet every day. If you ever get a text message from a man that says, how are you? I want you to imagine him sat on the toilet with his iPad, sending that very same message to another 20 women, okay? If he's interested in you, he wants to meet you. He can't wait to share real energy with you. He needs to see you. He wants to touch you. He wants to hear your voice. He wants to do things for you. He wants to buy you dinner. He wants to impress you, right? That's what an interested person does. Ask you out. So you're not going to do any chit chatting with him on the telephone, on the text messages. And also, when it gets to the step that you are on a date with him, you are not going to talk too much. And I'll tell you what, probably most of you, like 90% of you in this group, are going to be introverted empaths. And only like a very small percentage of you are going to be extroverted like me. So you are not going to have a problem in this department at all. But if you happen to be an extroverted empath like me, seriously, honey, you need to be quiet and allow him to speak so that he can show his true self. So you are being quiet, you are allowing him to show you if he's interested enough. And also, you are allowing him to show you what's important to him. Listen to what he is saying, listen to what topics he is bringing up. Don't be the one that is bringing up the topics. Don't be too interested in making the date fun. It should be his job to make the date fun for you. And this is how you know if he's truly interested or not. If he's not making an effort to make the date comfortable and fun for you, it might be a little pink warning signal. I give men 3 pink flags, and 3 pink flags become a red flag. And when you get to the red flag, you run. Okay. So if the guy is not trying to make the date beautiful for you, it's a little pink flag. Okay. So it's a little warning signal. It means like, be aware, there might be more red flags coming. If that is just the only thing, he might be introverted as well, and he might not be very sociable, person he's not used to, or maybe he was married long time and this is like his first date, cut him a little bit of a slack, just give him a little pink flag. But you should be quiet. And you're gonna say, but if I am quiet, how am I going to show him how awesome I am and how clever I am and how smart I am? And no, you don't need to, because when you are on a date, you don't want to lead with how funny you are. You don't want to lead with how much money you make. You don't want to lead how clever or intelligent or your job, or you want to lead with your feminine energy. And you want to lead with your worthiness, and you want to lead with your boundaries, and all of those things are going to speak millions of you. Those things are what's going to say you are amazing, you are high value, you are worthy, you are feminine, you are a good person, you love yourself. Okay, if you have to tell a person that you are high value, then it means that you are not high value. You don't see the queen going around, hey, I'm the queen, right? She is just the queen. And I want you to be in your feminine energy on your dates, and don't be in your doing energy, be in your being energy, and let him do the doing. Let him woo you, let him talk your ear off, let him entertain you, let him tell you the jokes, and you listen and pay attention. If you don't listen and pay attention, how would you know if he's a good match for you? I didn't get to know, like, people say that, Penny, how are you going to get to know him? You will get to know him, because the way that you don't get to know him at all, it's when you are in your masculine energy and you are talking his ear off. Then you get in a relationship like me, you are 5 years married, and you were married to a monster and you didn't even know, because I never allowed him to show his true colors. I never shut up, first of all, and I never used boundaries. So this is a very good telltale sign. When you are quiet, then he needs to do the work himself, and then he will show himself, and then you will see him for who he truly is. If you're all the time trying to make everything nice and smooth and covering it all up and trying to make the date nice, then you will not see what a truly person he is, if he's good or if he is bad, because you're covering all up with your empathy, right? You're just making everything nice. You're playing nice girl and making it all nice and smoothing everything out. Let him be, if there is a lull in the conversation, allow the lull, just enjoy being quiet and enjoy his attention, and enjoy and watch, especially watch and pay attention what he has to offer for you, because a lot of times we end up in bad relationships because we are too busy doing, being nice. We don't realize that they are being bad. We're covering all up. okay? So allow him to show himself and let him be the ones, for once, the one that does all the work, and just enjoy being in your feminine. Remember that I was saying you need to allow to receive. So allow him to receive his jokes, receive his attention, receive his stories. He's gonna talk about his family. Is he gonna talk about work? Is he gonna talk about the weather? Just whatever. He will talk about the things that are most important to him first. So you will know more like this. And then if you were going to interview him with a lot of bunch of questions, if you ask him a lot of questions, he's going to be in his defensive energy, and he's going to lie. He's going to give the answers that he thinks you want to hear. Okay? But if you just lean back and allow, he will share what's most important to him, which will tell you tons. You will know. I gone on dates with men that I know now better than the man that I married for 5 years, because I shut up and allow the man to show up for himself, instead of me being playing nice and covering everything up, right? So this is very hard to do. You're not going to learn it in one day, but it's very rewarding. Okay, you will go on dates and men will so instead of you talking your, verbal diarrhea, it'll be him with the verbal diarrhea, and he will overshare and tell you things he would never tell anyone. And it's very funny. But then you will get to know a lot about him. So you have power. This will empower you a lot. Okay? So don't give him a lot of chit chat and be quiet on dates. This is very, very important. Okay, so number 5. Oh, this video is getting really long, and he's gonna be upset with me. Okay, number 5 is let him plan the date. So he's asking you out. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got planned for him. Don't help him. The only thing that you're allowed to help him with is like telling him where he needs to come and date you. You do not go to him. He needs to come to you. Okay. So the only thing you help him is like, I live in X area, and he needs to plan a date in your area and plan everything. Like he needs to pick the restaurant, pick the date, pick the time, pick everything. And you are just going to lean back and allow him to take the reins of the date planning. And you're going to just say, sure, sounds great. Oh, no, sorry, I can't do Thursday. And then you're going to let him to pursue you and pin you down for this date. When this guy managed to get a date with you, he will feel like, oh, he's won the Olympics. And remember, you're not being a bitch. You are leaning back in your feminine energy, and you are having boundaries, and you are loving yourself. You're prioritizing your well-being, which means you're taking care of yourself while he's planning the date. At the end of the day, he asked you out on a date, so it's his responsibility to plan the date, right? So let him plan the date. And number 6 is very important. Let him come to you. So when he's planning the date, make sure you don't make sure, he will say to you, oh, do you want to meet halfway? No, thank you very much. I will stay, in my house watching Netflix if I need to come to you. What kind of date is this that I need to come to you? He has to come to you. He needs to show you that he's a gentleman, and he needs to show you that, he's going to treat you with the highest, utmost respect. And you do that with boundaries. With boundaries, you show them how to treat you. So all you need to do is say yes or no. You don't tell him what to do. So if he says, oh, let's go to this restaurant that I know in my town, you say, well, I'm really sorry, but I'd much rather prefer to meet somewhere in my area. You state your preference, okay? Remember that, what is the, I was reading, amazing book. I was reading Anita Moorjani's last book, Sensitive is the New Strong. And there's this beautiful quote that says, to be assertive is, you stand in your own powers. Like when you are being aggressive, you are telling others what to do, okay? But to be assertive is when you are not telling others what to do, you're just stating your preference, okay? So you are not defending yourself saying, I am not coming to you. You are not telling him, you come to me. You are telling him your preference, which is, I much rather prefer to meet somewhere in my area, okay? And that is perfectly fine that you say that. And do you know what? Men know, even if he's of very low education, even though he didn't have a good chivalrous father, men know that they have to come to you, that they have to do the work. Even though they might try to pull a fast one on you, they know the right thing to do, because they know they need to earn you, okay? So don't ever allow a guy to make you come to their place, okay? And then as you continue to date in the future, you may allow him to pick you up and take you to wherever he wants. You can take you to the end of the world as long as he can and pick you up. And this rule will also keep you safe when you are dating strangers. You don't want to be driving miles where he can then follow you and do something to you. You are in your area, you will feel much safer. And make him, so you know your area, you know your ground, and make him be the one that is out of his comfort zone for you, not you getting out of your comfort zone for him, okay? It will keep you safer as well. Let me see. Let him come to you. Number 7, we're getting there. Number 7 is let him pay. I know some of you are gonna go like, what? I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist too. But you're gonna let him pay because number 1, masculine men like to show their power, and whoever pays has the power. Doesn't mean that you are not empowered. It means that you are letting him believe that he's got the power, number 1. Number 2, masculine energy is giving energy. And remember that when we are in a dating scenario, we must be in our receiving energy. So in order to receive, you must allow him to pay. When the bill comes, you don't even make eye contact with the waiter. You just say thank you, and he'll take care of the bill. And it's very important that you allow this because it's very much related to your worthiness. If you are going around on dates and you are paying for the dates and you are going with this feminist facade, it's a facade. When you are not allowing the gentleman to pay, you are telling the man, I am not worth the dinner. I am not worth the coffee. The gentleman knows that you can afford the dinner. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to be the gentleman. I want you to be the lady. I want you to feel worthy, that you are worthy the coffee. You are worth the trip for him to come to you. You are worth the dinner. You are worth the drink. Okay? And you are worthy of him treating you like the queen. And hello, the queen doesn't carry money with her. And I have made my ladies go to dates with no money, okay? Because it's so much easier. And I don't recommend you go out with dates, because it takes you out of the comfort zone, and you want to have your card just in case, or your phone in case you need to like grab an Uber or keep yourself safe. But with clients of mine that they are in relationships and they started coaching with me, and they were paying half-seas and no houses. He needs to pay. Remember, you are in your feminine energy. And I'm going to share something with you. Okay, so my husband was a narcissist, and through a lot of healing, something came up not long ago. This is very recent, and I was extremely hurt and triggered. And I never noticed this, but my husband, on our first date, he pretended that he left his wallet home. And I know now that he was pretending because he never in the history of our 7 years together ever forgot his wallet. A man never forgets his wallet, because remember, like, his wallet is his power, like his money is his power. Money equals power. And then the most important thing for men is power. Like, how did he get the tube? Like, and me, as the nice girl, as the not empowered empath, what did I do when he said, "Oh, I forgot my wallet"? I was like, "Don't worry, don't worry, it's okay, it's okay." I played nice, I smoothed out the wrinkles, I fixed the problem. No, like, God forbid he would feel bad for forgetting his wallet. But what did that lead me? It led me to be married. We were married 5 years, together 7 years, with a very bad man, that didn't truly love me. And probably that was the test. I passed with flying colors. Like, yes, you are doormatty enough. You will do. I will use you, and that's the way it is. So it's very important that we stand in our power and don't listen to the feminists. Okay, letting the guy pay for the date is not a feminist thing. Feminist is like, you want equality when you are working. Okay, you want to vote, you want the same rights as a man. But when you are in a romantic relationship, you want to be the girl. You want to be in your feminine energy, and you want him to be in his masculine energy. Because if it's not like this, their relationship will not be balanced. There will not be polarity. There will not be sexiness. There will not be attraction. And that and relationships like this, if you are both in your feminine, it will not work. And if you are both in your masculine, it will not work. Imagine when you are driving the car. So one person drives the car, the other person is the passenger. So I want you to enjoy being the passenger, enjoy the ride. He's gonna take you on a really nice ride, because we are gonna use boundaries. If the ride is not nice, you get off the car. Okay, you can get off the car at any time. You have the power of getting out of the car. In the meantime, you're going to enjoy the ride, and he's going to drive you and show you what type of man he is. Okay, so that was number 7. Let him pay. Number 8, end the phone call first and end the date first. This is a huge boundary. And this is where things get tricky, and men don't like this, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, imagine like you are like, in a dating scenario. Maybe you are on Tinder, maybe you already on texting on your phone, you exchange numbers, you maybe on WhatsApp. He's gonna try to call you all the time. So what you're going to do is, like, first of all, you're not going to take every single phone call, okay? Especially if he's of an anxious attachment, he might end up calling you 2-3 times a day. Of course, you are a woman of high value. You have your job, career, you have your home, you have your friends, you have your hobbies, you have your passions, you have your pursuits, you may have children, you have a full life, okay? He is not the center of your world. You have a big life full of everything that you love to do. So you are not gonna let him think that he is the center of your world now that you are dating. So you are not gonna take every single phone call. Maybe you're gonna take 2-3 phone calls a week at the very most. And those phone calls, you are gonna end the phone call first, always. Imagine, like, well, I'm an extroverted, so I could be on the phone 3 hours with my girlfriends, like, seriously, like, no boundaries, until the phone gets hot, until we run out of battery, until, but for my entire life, I never ended the date first, not only with men, like with my girlfriends, like, I was always the last one to go to bed, I was the last one on the phone, I was the last one out partying, always. But that's also because I was not prioritizing myself. I'm always prioritizing others, right? Which is another down thing with the as empaths. But also, when you end the phone call first, it shows that you have boundaries. When you show boundaries, you show that you are treating yourself like a woman of high value. So imagine that you're on the phone to him for 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes you say, oh, well, things to do, you know, um, a big day tomorrow. Sorry, I have to go, you know. It means you are busy, you are prioritizing your needs, you are prioritizing yourself. But guess what? If the person that is talking to you is a good person, he will say, sure, off you go. You know, I don't want to take a lot of your time. You know, I will see you on Saturday. Maybe you have a date already in place. Or maybe he's not asking you out on a date first, but he's like talking your ear off and he's not even asking you on a date. If he's not even asking you on a date, you end that phone call no longer than 10 minutes. And also what happens is that when you put the phone, when you say, oh, well, listen, I'm really busy and I really have to get going, he might say, but wait, you know, when am I going to see you? And then that will prompt him to ask you out. But you don't like help him. You end the phone call. You tell him, I really need to get going. I have a life here, you know. Maybe you have to have a shower. You have a dinner to cook. Maybe you have Netflix to watch. You know, we are very busy. But always prioritize your needs. Even if your needs is like, I need to get in bed with a book, that is a very big need. It's your need. And remember, you are a high value woman, okay? You need to treat yourself like that. And then when you are dating, okay, you're gonna also end the date first, okay? You're not gonna be all night out, or you're not gonna let him end the date first. You are gonna say when, okay? So imagine he asks you out for a coffee. You drink your coffee, and when you finish your coffee, you say, well, this was lovely. Great meeting you. Thank you for the coffee, but I better get going because of whatever reason you want to give, right? Million things to do, a big day tomorrow, whatever the reason, you end the date, okay? If he's only asking you out for a coffee, you don't need to give him 3 coffees and a cupcake and a walk in the park. No, he only asks you out for a coffee. You give him a coffee and you go home. If he asks you out for a drink, you go out with him, you give him 1 drink and you go home. Don't feel that you need to be out with him drinking all night because you are not one of the boys. You want to establish yourself as a woman of high value. You're not his drinking buddy. You have a drink, have a conversation with him, and you go home, okay? If he asks you out to dinner, you're going to have dinner and you're going to go home. And on your first date, if your first date is dinner, have like an entree and have a first course, skip dessert and say, oh, you know, I'm really full, got a big day tomorrow, better get going. It was great meeting you. And then he will get the bill. He will get the hint. But you don't get the bill, you don't call the waiter, okay? You don't do anything like that. You end the date first. Always end the date first. It's very important. And this, you will appear as a woman of high value by doing this. As you know, as a relationship grows and it's your 3rd date, 5th date, you're 3 months together, your date, of course, you can have coffee after the date, you can have dessert, you can have a drink afterwards, like, you know, and have a longer date, but especially in the beginning, cut the date short. If he likes you a lot, he will ask you out again. You don't want to give all your energy to one person that is not even thinking of asking you out again. So there is no point. He's not going to like you extra if you stay longer with him. So it's very important that you cut the date short. You know, don't be a bitch. You don't want to be there 15 minutes and leave. You want to eat your dinner, but then when you finish your dinner, maybe when the waiter comes and says, have a dessert, you say, oh, you know, I am super full. Actually, I should get going, you know, big day tomorrow. And end the date like a queen, you know. And this will make you look like you are super high value, you love yourself, you respect yourself, you treat yourself like a priority. And guess what? He will automatically, you know, believe you for it and start treating you like a really high value, precious thing that he's got himself. Okay. Okay, so number 9, we're getting there. Oh my god, this video is super long and it's gonna kill me. Number 9 is let him let him miss you, okay? So in between dates, you're going to let him miss you. You're going to put the boundary. You're not going to be calling him. You're not going to let him call you every day. Like I was saying earlier, you know, tops 3 times a week. Let him miss you, disappear, go missing, okay? Because when you are missing, he is falling in love with you. Women, we fall in love with men in their presence. Men fall in love with us in our absence. So the more that you go missing, the more crazy he will go for you. But also, when you go missing, you are placing boundaries. You are saying, you have your life, I have my life. And this will keep you safe, okay? And your dates will be the more amazing for it, because he just can't wait to see you, because he's like, he doesn't, you know, it's so hard to get hold of you. You are so, like, you will be the center of his attention all the rest of his life, okay? And the last thing, okay, I'm finished. Penny's gonna kill me. The last thing is number 10. It's let him say I love you first. Let him ask you for exclusivity first. Let him take you to meet the parents first. That's another kind of boundary, okay? Let him, of course, propose. Remember, we are, you know, leaning in our feminine, and he's gonna lead with his masculine energy. So he's gonna ask you out first. He's gonna contact you first. He's gonna see you first. He's gonna ask you out first. I said that already. He's going to plan the date, right? He's gonna lead with his energy. He's gonna ask you out on the next date. When he feels ready, he's gonna ask you to be exclusive. And believe me, if you follow my steps, he will be asking you for exclusivity like so fast, okay? Because he needs to pin you down, right? And also, don't be agreeing to exclusivity too soon, okay? You know, make sure that you are dating lots of men, that you have a nice healthy rotation, you're giving yourself choices. Feminine energy is all about giving yourself choices. So allow yourself to date lots of men, have lots of choices, and make the best man win, okay? So when you are saying yes to this person, make sure that you are 100%, because once you are exclusive, then you will not have any contrast so to put him against, and he will get into his safe energy, that he's not competing with any other men, and the treatment of him will be a little bit more relaxed. So extend this period of time as much as you can. This is another boundary that you can place, okay? And then let him be the one that asks you for exclusivity, okay? And believe me, if you follow my tips, you will not be waiting. He will be asking you for exclusivity before you even, you know, realize that, you know, what's what. And he will be saying to you, I love you, like so fast, because he will fall in love with you in your absence, thanks to your boundaries. Who knew, right? And the same thing, like when you follow this advice, what tends to happen is like you actually get really fast engagements. And you know, like women say, oh, men don't want to get married, men don't want relationships, men, that it's a lie. It's just that because of social media and text messages and WhatsApp and everything else, we are too available, so they have no reason to. And men are very logical. If you are available, then they don't need to do anything to get access to you. But when they have to work really hard to get access to you, then they're gonna certainly pin you down, right? Because it will make logical sense. And I know that you wanted to be mad, I know that you wanted to be romantic, and I know you wanted to be like, but you just have to accept that men are just, they don't think like us. They are logical beings. So if you want him to marry you, and you are in a relationship, and you already know that he's the one, maybe putting in some boundaries will make him step up into his masculine energy, and be your knight in, you know, dashing knight in shining armor. Because maybe you were not allowing him the chance to step up into his masculine and be that person for you. But the minute that you stop playing nice, the minute that you stop covering everything, the minute that you stop smoothing everything out and put the boundaries in, he's gonna have to step up, because if he doesn't step up, he won't have access to you. So two things will happen. He will not have access to you. If he's not stepping up to get access to you, it means he doesn't like you. Okay, he's not Mr. Right. But if he is Mr. Right and he really likes you and he truly loves you, he will step up and he will be the man that you need him to be. Okay, and it will be beautiful. Okay, and again, to make this step, it requires you to be super courageous, amazing woman that you are. So pulling, all your courage to be brave enough and feel worthy enough to put all these boundaries in place, that is going to give you the relationship that you want and the relationship that you deserve. And with this being said, this is the end of my masterclass. I hope you loved it. I hope it was really helpful for you. If you have got any more questions, I will be here. I cannot remember the date right now, but I will be here available for you on a Q&A. And I also will do a live video with Penny, and you can bring in any issues, any questions. I can't wait to see what you come up with. And I'll be here with you, supporting you every step of the way. I'll see you soon. Bye.